War does not only wound the body, it fractures time. During the First World War, somewhere in a muddy trench in Europe, a soldier sat quietly and wrote a letter. He described the cold air. He described the endless waiting. He did not describe the fear. He told his wife he was fine. He told her the food was decent. He told her he would return before Christmas. He folded the letter carefully, placed it inside an envelope, and tucked it into his coat. Hours later, artillery shells fell without warning. The earth shook. The sky disappeared in smoke. When the bombardment ended, the trench was gone. Weeks later, the letter was found, stained, unsent. His wife would never read his final words. History counts casualties in numbers, but it never counts the letters that never reached home. Not every untold story is about combat. Some are about humanity. During the freezing winter of the Korean War, 2 wounded soldiers found themselves stranded between enemy lines, one from the north, one from the south, both injured, both exhausted, both afraid. They could not understand each other's language, but they understood pain. Slowly, one soldier pushed his canteen across the snow. The other hesitated, then drank. No words were exchanged, only silence. For one night, they were not enemies. They were simply 2 young men trying to survive the cold. At dawn, the gunfire returned. They crawled back to their own sides, and they never saw each other again. There were no medals for that moment, no official report, but sometimes the most powerful acts in war are invisible. Eventually, the fighting stopped. The headlines faded. The parades ended. But some soldiers never truly came home. A veteran once said, "The war followed me home." At night, he heard helicopters that were not there. He woke suddenly, heart racing to sounds no one else could hear. He sat at family dinners in complete silence, carrying memories he could not explain. To the world, he was a survivor. Inside, he was still walking through heat and gunfire, through loss and fear. For some soldiers, the war does not end when the battlefield goes quiet. It continues in dreams, in silence, in the spaces between conversations. In Arlington National Cemetery stands a tomb dedicated to those whose names were never recovered, the tomb of the unknown soldier. It represents thousands, perhaps millions. Each unknown soldier once had a childhood, a favorite meal, a laugh that filled a room, a person who loved them. Each one dreamed of a future beyond the battlefield, and somewhere, someone waited for them to come home. We know the dates of wars. We know the names of generals. We know the outcomes written in textbooks. But we rarely know the private stories of the people who carried the weight of history on their shoulders. History tells us who won, but it rarely tells us what it cost. Behind every battlefield lies a collection of human stories, fragile, quiet, often forgotten. The letter that was never delivered, the enemy who shared water, the soldier who brought the war home, the name that was never known. These are the untold soldier stories. And perhaps the reason we tell them is not to glorify war, but to remember the humans inside it.